just like we talked about in the video before, an equation is an expression that has an equal sign, and it shows that both expressions on both sides of the equal sign have the same value. In order for us to start to solve equations, we must first understand the properties of equality. Let's review. An equation is a sentence that uses an equal sign to show that two expressions have the same value. For instance, 5 plus 3 equals 8. Both sides of the equal sign have the same value. So in this sort of sense, we need to start to think of an equation like a seesaw. It's like a seesaw on a playground. And in order to keep it balanced, you must do the same thing to both sides. For both sides to be balanced, I gotta do the same thing to both sides. We don't want one side getting upset at the other side, so we have to make it consistent and on both sides. Okay? So let's look at the first property is addition property of equality. So that means anytime we are adding, we have an addition sign in our equation. Okay. Let's use this up here. So for this example, I have in parentheses 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. The addition property of equality says for this side to remain the same as this side, if I add 2 to this side of the equal sign, if I have a seesaw, this is the base, the equal sign is the base of my seesaw, is it going to be balanced? What does this side equal? 8 plus 2, this is 10. Is that the same as 8? No. So in order to balance my seesaw and make it as level as possible, I must, if I added 2 to this side of the equal sign, this property, addition property of equality, says for both sides to be equal, I have to add 2 to this side. Now my seesaw is balanced. Okay, let's look at the second property. Subtraction property of equality. As you can probably guess, this is when we subtract and we see the subtraction symbol. Okay. Using the same numbers of above, we're going to have 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. But this time I want to subtract 2. If I draw my seesaw, will both sides be balanced? Will the seesaw be level? Nope. The subtraction property of equality says if I subtract 2 from the left side of the equal sign, I must also subtract 2 from the right side of the equal sign. Now my seesaw is balanced. Both sides are equal. They both have the same value. And if any time you want to double check that, let's do it. 5 plus 3 parentheses first is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. This is equal to 6. What's this one? 8 minus 2? 6. The seesaw is level. After the subtraction property of equality, we are going to talk about the multiplication property of equality. As you can guess, that's when we multiply and we see the multiplication symbol. Scoop this up. Okay. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. But I want to multiply by 2 on this side. The multiplication property of equality says to make both sides equal, the seesaw to be level, I must also multiply this side by 2. If I do it to the left side, I must also do the exact same thing, the exact same operation to the right side. Now my seesaw is level. Again, if I want to check myself, 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 2 is 16. And the last property, you can probably guess it, division property of equality. That's when we're going to divide and when we see the division symbol. As you can probably already see the pattern here, if I have 5 plus 3 is equal to 8, if I divide by 2, what must I do to the other side? Divide by 2. The division property of equality says if I do it to one side, I must also do it to the other side. So if I divide by 2 on this side, I must divide by the same number on the right side. Now both sides of the equal sign have the same value and they're equal. If I build my seesaw, we want it to be level. We get 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 divided by 2. And 8 divided by 2. My seesaw is level.